Hey, soldiers, it looks like California is dead set on destroying their state. Okay, we got a piece of legislation making its way through the California legislature that once again is going to further embolden criminal activity. It's going to hurt business owners. It's going to hurt employees. It's going to be a cascade effect because you're going to have more businesses leave, shrinking employment opportunities. Okay. And when larger businesses leave somewhere, it has a downstream effect on smaller businesses. That's just, it follows, right? So this is what we're seeing out in California. There is this drive to destroy private property, destroy the value of private property. Look, this is a leftist theme. It always has been, but we're seeing it crop up more and more in America, in the United States of America, modern day. We got the mayor of New York. We did the report on him. Okay. And what he was saying was, look, I want to propose that you go out and look at the immigrants we have coming into the city, the influx. You know, we as the government can't really handle it. So I want you to open your doors to them. Do the right thing. Okay. Open your doors to the immigrants. You got a spare room. He actually said that. You got a spare room, okay, that you're not using. You know that. You can open your doors up. And let me tell you something, okay? That attack on that vector on private property, okay? Right now, what the mayor of New York suggested is just that. It's a suggestion. It's a proposal. They might put it in place, but it'll be voluntary for now. Do you really think you've seen these law students at Berkeley, at Boston University, and at many other colleges? You've seen them shout down people they don't agree with. And I'm calling out the law students because aren't they supposed to be the ones that are being versed in intellectual debate? Okay. But we live in a society now, a social media driven society, where if you don't like what someone's saying, all you got to do is block them. Okay. That's why I don't block people here. I have blocked a couple of people, but they were saying some things that were off the wall. And so, you could disagree with me all day long on politics and financial issues, or I believe that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Okay, that nothing you can come on and say, no, I think it's LeBron, and we'll get along swimmingly. But when you start to take it in a dangerous or deviant direction, no, that's not what this platform is for. But these students have not been confronted by deviance. Okay, they have not been confronted by danger, although they would say that speech that they don't agree with is dangerous, right? So what do you think is going to happen when these individuals come into power in this nation over the course of the next decade? Okay. What do you think is going to happen when those law students that are over at Berkeley, who shouted some conservative speaker down, what do you think they're going to do when they hold congressional seats, when they are deeply embedded within the bureaucracy, when they can file suit against you because your property is located exactly where a Native American tribe used to have their property? So now you got to give it up, and we're going to take you to court in order to do it. And look, when somebody takes you to court, you can't just say, forget about it. I'm not going to deal with that. You got to spend money to defend yourself and your property. So we're seeing, and believe you me, this is an end run on private property, because you got to sell your property if Gavin Newsome and the gang over in California in their legislature are just going to let people run roughshod, right? You're eventually going to want to sell, but who the hell wants to buy? Gavin Newsome put some laws in place back during the COVID thing that made it easier for the state to come in and buy. Now, if the state's the only game in town, no one else wants to buy your property because The Walking Dead is outside, okay, or the characters from Escape from LA, okay, then the state can lowball you, all right? So this is what we're looking at, guys. Big picture stuff. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Enlist, become a soldier of finance. Let me know you did it in the comments. I will salute you. This gang does such a good job. I don't even have to talk to the soldiers about hitting the thumbs up, but You might be new here. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up, everybody. Let YouTube know this is content that you value. Also, take a look at that join. Hit that join button. Hitting join will show you what we're offering in the members only section of the Soldiers of Finance platform here on YouTube. Consume that. You definitely want to become a part of that because we're talking about the practical aspects of maintaining your course along the road to financial independence. And don't ever forget, it is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. In fact, it's a journey that you're going to pass the baton to in terms of your heirs and future generations and organizations you care about. Okay? So you want to hand them a good baton and give them a head start, and you want to enjoy your life and be prosperous. Hit that join button, find out how we can help you with that. California advances a bill to help shoplifters steal. Why should this be a surprise to us? Shoplifting in California may get a lot easier after the state Senate passed a controversial bill on May 31st that would make it illegal for store employees to confront thieves. Now, at first blush, you might say, well, that makes sense. I certainly had that reaction when I read it the first time. I don't want, because I immediately thought about a cashier at like a Walgreens. I don't want this person to put their lives in danger, in any way, shape, or form, or get injured, because there's nothing in a Walmart, there's nothing in any of these stores that's worth your life, right? That's the first thought I had. But you're going to see in a minute that this goes deeper. And keep in mind, this bill was passed out of the Senate by an overwhelming majority, by the way. The Senate, in a bicameral infrastructure, political or legislative infrastructure. The Senate is supposed to be the most deliberative body, okay? So, I mentioned that because if that's the case here in California, then this thing's going to sail through the House. SB 553, authored by Democrat Senator David Cortez, he's from San Jose, requires employers to maintain violent incident logs, provide active shooter and shoplifter training, and to discard policies requiring workers to confront suspected active shoplifters. Now, most stores have those policies. We saw the ladies over at Lululemon. They were fired because shoplifters came in, and these ladies had just had enough, okay? You got to understand, and I know you do. Good people have a visceral reaction when they see or experience something wrong, okay? These ladies represent law-abiding, upstanding citizens, right? And here they are in the store, they're working, and here come, some young scholars who don't want to pay for the goods, okay? So they're just stealing. They know they're not going to face any consequences as long as they keep it under a certain threshold. That's another California, law. So the ladies say, stop it, this is wrong, and they're going on and on, right? And for their trouble, they got fired because they violated Lululemon's policy, okay? These young ladies, they tried to confront these people because they just had a visceral reaction to the theft. Lululemon fired them, and then the CEO came and he was asked about it. He really doubled down on it and said, yeah, they violated the policy. Now, the young ladies have said, hey, this knocked me off my financial track here because... Yes, Lululemon, they're not making $100,000, right? And even if they were, their lifestyle would probably be commensurate with that amount, right? So it was a blow. I sure hope that CEO, who's probably liberal as the day is long and talks a good game, I sure hope that those ladies got some compensation. So most of these stores already have that policy, but let's take an example. I don't know if there are any gun stores still left in California, but what if you're standing there behind the counter and you are strapped, okay? Now, you have to be a damn fool to come into a gun store and try to rob these people. However, if there's a new law that says they can't interfere, no matter how many guns they got strapped to their waist, then why not, right? Okay? And that could be extremely dangerous because these people are going to rob a gun store they're going to use a gun in the commission of the crime more than likely. And these people out here committing crimes today are uber violent. Okay, they're not just coming to rob you. In Baltimore City, growing up, when I, got into my teen years and I started to go out and be more independent, my uncles would always tell me, hey, look, Tyrone, if you ever get stuck up, make sure you look at the ground. Don't look at the person. Look at the ground, okay? So that they won't be afraid that you're going to identify them later, okay? But it's gone beyond that. In Baltimore City today, they rob you and they blow your head off, okay? In a lot of cities, that's the case, right? So are you going to handicap the gun stores to that degree as well? Or what about if, there's a security guard there working as an employee for Lululemon or whoever, okay? Is that person going to... And look, this is another reason why I don't want to come anywhere near California. For me, California is like... You remember how they used to portray the USSR back during the Cold War? That's the vibe I get from California. Just oppressive, heavy-handed government. No, thank you. Okay? I don't want any parts of it. So, what are they going to do in these instances? Because if a security guard that is hired by one of these establishments, let's say it's a white guy or a white girl, and kill a black perpetrator because this guy pulled out a gun. Oh, well, now you're racist, and we're going to have to vilify you. We're going to have to take you through the whole cultural revolution where we put the dunce cap on you and, make you just a pariah. You're out there making all of $45,000 a year, but now you're going to be a pariah, okay? Can't make Joe Biden a pariah for the deeds that he's, committed to, but you are going to be one. Okay, because you shot someone that happened to be in a protected class. It doesn't matter. They were a young scholar on the way to see grandmother and tell her that they got accepted into Harvard. They were changing their life, okay? So how's that supposed to work, right? Knowing California, I think you know very well how it's going to work. According to Cortese, the bill is intended to, quote, help employers keep employees safe at work. The bill, which passed the Senate by a vote of 29-8, again, pretty large margin, is pending further review by state assembly committees. According to the California Realtors Association, the bill will apply to all industries. So that's the answer to the gun shops and every other, all industries. It is what it is. Not just retail, if passed. So basically, you could waltz into any establishment and take whatever the hell you want to take, and nobody who's working for that company better do anything to stop you. This is going to be the law. California Realtors Association President and CEO Rachel Michelin told Fox 2KT VU that the bill goes way too far. I think it will open the doors even wider for people to come in and steal from our stores. You're right, Ms. Michelin. According to the California Realtors Association, most retailers already prohibit regular employees from approaching someone who is shoplifting. These situations are handled by employees specially trained in theft prevention. According to a position letter from the California Chamber of Commerce, the bill, quote, takes a regulation written for hospitals related to workplace violence and applies it to all workplaces, regardless size or resources. Substantively, SB 533 does not change the realities around workplace violence, namely that it is a criminal matter and employees are not well equipped to prevent it. But they can be, all right? But they're not going to let them be. So you are supposed, response times at all these police departments, especially the urban ones, are going up. You're supposed to wait around. This is a big part of leftism also, right along the lines of the fact that they don't like the reality, that they don't like private property. They don't want you to be able to do anything to protect yourself, okay? Now, that's why they give Texas and Florida so much grief about their stand your ground laws and the liberal gun laws that they have down there. Because Texas and Florida are saying, look, within reason, if you're threatened, you can go ahead and take care of business. I was a first responder, volunteer firefighter. And you know what we always used to say? And they probably still say it. When seconds count, we're minutes away. All right. In recent years, shoplifting has become a serious problem, with retailers such as Target anticipating a $1.3 billion hit due to theft and organized crime. And when they're talking organized crime, they're not talking Tony Soprano. They are talking about organized theft rings that bum rush the joint and steal everything in sight and then run out. In downtown San Francisco, Target employees told the San Francisco Standard that they're experiencing at least 10 thefts a day. The Target store at 1690 Folsom Street initially locked up most of its merchandise to deter shoplifting, but quickly changed to only locking up more valuable goods. There's a way you can tell if you're shopping for real estate and tell you in a bad neighborhood or not. You go into the Walgreens or the Target or whatever and everything's locked up. This is especially true in drugstores. So the CVS, if you go in, everything's locked up. Yeah, you might want to reconsider your real estate purchase there. As shoplifting plagues the San Francisco Bay Area, confronting thieves could be dangerous even for trained personnel. They go on, blah, blah, blah. Its most well-known statute, the California legislature's well-known statute, took the threshold down to $400 as the, well, it took it up rather to $950. It used to be $400. You come in there and steal $400 worth of goods, then they're coming after you. But now it's $950. They raised it. So this is the California government's response to inflation. Okay, they did do something about it. They allowed criminals. They said, look, we know this stuff costs more now. $400 will get you in a lot of trouble, so we'll go ahead and raise it for you. Now it's $950. We'll more than double it for you. California's Prop 47, in addition to raising that threshold, also allowed felons serving prison time to petition for resentencing under the law classification. So if you got locked up under that $400 threshold, you can repetition and say, hey, I want out because, you guys raised the limit. Those who have already served their terms can also have their past convictions reclassified as misdemeanors. All right, so, that's what's going on out there in California. They continue to erode the value of their businesses. They continue to make the place a lot more dangerous, okay? I don't know what to say. So it's no wonder that people are getting out of there, right? I certainly would not want to live there. I certainly would not want to own a business there. I don't even want to visit California. And I know, well, it's got the ocean. It's beautiful. The weather's quite nice in Florida and Texas as well. I used to work in Texas a lot. Weather's just fine. Okay. Well, Texas hot and dry. And you go down south and they got the Gulf Coast. It's okay. It's okay. It's the same water. No, I'm not interested in California. Speaking of California, a major hotel chain has just said, we're out of here. Okay? A major hotel chain. I'm not talking about a Red Roof Inn. They have said, we're so sick of this, we're giving back the keys. We're just going to go ahead and default on a $100 million loan. Check it out. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.